Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Seasonal Tokens Podcast, where Polar interviews people so you can do more investing and less gambling.
Hello everyone, it is Polar here, the CMO of Seasonal Tokens. Welcome on another episode of the Seasonal Tokens podcast. Today we have another special guest from the Seasonal Tokens team. We have Mouph with us. Welcome, Mouph.
Hey everyone, thank you for having me, Polar.
It is my pleasure. So, thank you very much for accepting my invitation, and now it is time to start with the questions. So, can you introduce yourself and your background with a few words?
Yeah, okay, sure. Thank you again for the invitation. My name is Mouph. I'm known as Mouph, and I am the community advisor at Seasonal Tokens. I have been into crypto for almost year one of crypto. I mined a total of 3 Bitcoin back in the day, but long story short, I'll say this later, they got lost forever. Another thing I used to do is, I still do it, is NFT trading, NFT minting, and crypto trading, crypto advising. I've also had my own entrepreneurship life since I was 6 years old and worked with local firms as a sort of creative advisor and helped search for problems and find their solutions, as well as build and sold Discord servers for fun.
Amazing background, and it sounds like you are very deep in crypto, which is amazing. So this gives me the hope that we have a lot of value to provide to the listeners today. So in the first place, what has attracted you to crypto?
Well, okay, so this brings me to the Bitcoin story. So it all started when I heard about Bitcoin and that it was a mineable and it was worth money. So I was very young and thought, hey, why not see what this is all about? I was a kid and I was like, let's make money. Long story short, I downloaded a bunch of miner software out of very sketchy sites. I also downloaded a lot of sketchy wallets and I was able to run and mine Bitcoin until I got a total of 3 Bitcoin. After that, when I tried to deposit or withdraw the money, actually, what happened was the computer got a virus, and that caused me to have to format it completely, and I lost the Bitcoin forever. And after I saw how Bitcoin rose in price and how crypto was going on and the technology that it brought with it, I was just so curious to dive back right in and try to make money again and try to ride this wave. That's it. Yeah,
this is a very sad story. And how much time actually was between this virus and you getting back to the crypto?
When I got hit the virus after almost a year of mining, and then when I went back into the crypto, it was actually 4 years ago only. So all this time I wanted to stay away. I didn't want to know what Bitcoin's price was because I didn't want to know how much I lost.
Very good way to protect your emotions and life, I would say. So from what I hear, you are dealing almost every day with crypto, so I suppose you are investing very actively in crypto and NFTs too, right?
I do actively invest in crypto and in NFTs. Actually, I invest monthly. So every single month I do dollar cost averaging. I get a amount of money that I can afford to lose, actually, and I put it in my strategy of investing crypto. Another thing is I like to cycle trade my seasonal tokens. Every month I also like to check what the prices of the tokens are, what's the least valued one, and if I can switch my tokens to it so I'd have a higher number of tokens. And I also check my farms and the NFTs, if anything in the Discord servers, if there's anything that it needs updating or my attention so I can deal with it.
Okay, so you mentioned dollar cost averaging, which we have heard many times, but before we started the recording, you mentioned a very interesting strategy to me about investing in crypto. So can you share more about it with our listeners?
Yeah, sure thing. So how I invest is I have, let's say 100% of my money is $1,000. So I get that $1,000 and I split it in two, so 50 and 50. I get the $500, the first one, and I directly enter the market with it. So let's say I go to the market right now, and let's say it's Ethereum, and Ethereum's price is $1,000. So I buy with the $500 0.5 ETH, and I keep that, and then I buy limit orders for the other 50%, which is the other $500. So it would buy more Ethereum when the prices go down, distributed among 4 different times. So for example, $200 when Ethereum is 900, another 100 when it is 800, another 100 when it is 700, and so on and so forth. So I put a line downwards of buy limit orders, and then I also put a sell limit order for the 0.5 Ethereum that I have. So I sell, for example, 0.2 when it's 1,100, 0.1 when it's 1,200. This way, if the price goes up or it goes down, I still am able to make some money with it. I'm still able to either buy more at a discounted price or actually make more money.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. So I suppose that you need some money from not only your investments to do your strategy. So I suppose that you have a job or something like that.
Technically, you're asking how I get my income, and for that, I have the seasonal tokens team, but I mostly rely on the entrepreneurial investments that I do. So as I said, I was an entrepreneur for the age of 6 years old, which is kind of insane if you think about it. Not a lot of you believe me, but I still have friends from when I was 6 years old that they can back me up on this story. They're like, yes, he used to do this and do that. So what I do is I buy a lot of tech from China. It's like kind of drop shipping. And I see, for example, let's say vapes are now in trend. So I go and I invest in vapes. I get the kits, the tools, I learn about it, and I offer consulting as well as I sell the vape. And then same thing with like phone chargers, phone covers. If something new came up, like when fidget spinners came out, I sold a lot of them. And this is how I keep my money, like flowing. And I mostly use that amount because it's technically not a stable income. I use that amount to invest in crypto, whereas I use the stable amount from a regular job for my day-to-day life.
Okay, very interesting. I haven't heard someone else doing like that, especially since 6 years old. So we have a very, very unique story here. Thank you very much for sharing it with our listeners. So it's really great that you're investing weekly and monthly in crypto and NFTs, but there are still a lot of people that wonder if they should do this or wait. So my question for you is, what makes you think that it is good for people to invest in crypto?
Well, first of all, we have to always start with questions like these, like, this is not financial advice, okay? This is just what I personally think. So I personally think we're still very new to crypto. If people look at how the internet came out and how much FUD and people were against it, you will see that crypto is following a very similar pathway. And actually, in reality, it's actually going faster than the internet. So if you look at the internet adoption and if you compare it to another line of the crypto adoption, you will find out that crypto is being adopted faster than when the internet was being adopted when the internet first came out. So we're still very new. It's still very fresh. Some people, I might advise them to consider waiting until crypto becomes more of a solid ground. And other people, I actually advise, if they're willing to go into risk, is to benefit from these crashes, these quote unquote Bitcoin is dead, and actually buy some. Take advantage. I call this sale season. Every time somebody asks me, what do you call a crash? I call it sale season, because everything is so discounted and you can buy a lot more, and then you make way more money with that.
Yeah, you definitely have right. But like you said, people should do their own research and decide if this is for them or not, because if there are such people that when they invest in something, they want to keep track on it every day, every minute, it will be probably even deadly for them. And I'm saying this from experience because many years ago, when I started investing in stocks, I was so attracted to the tables, to the charts, to watch what is happening with my investments, that there were days that I haven't been able to do anything because the price was down, and I was worried and wondering if I should sell now or wait. So it has been very, very bad for me. So When I realized that, I just thought to myself, it's just not for me at the moment. I have to wait. Probably I have to grow more to be ready for that. And I have sold everything at this moment. When I realized that, and thanks God, I got back to investments, like stock investments before crypto investing. And I thought to myself, like, never do this mistake again. So like, think again if you are going to check the charts every day, every minute, because I have heard many people are doing that, this same mistake like me. Probably it's not good for you to start. Think twice and then do it. Like in the beginning of our conversation, Mouph, you mentioned something very interesting about the mining. Do you still do mining, or you have given it up after this virus thing?
Well, first, I would like to say I'm sorry for your loss. Another thing I would like to say is I agree with what you said. Watching the charts every day, and you would become so stressed and you would become so scared that it affects your mental health. It actually does affect your mental health, and it's concerning. This is why personally I always like to enter and exit the market in the same day. I like to possibly in the same month, and if there's a crash, I just don't look at my portfolio at all. I just go in to buy if I want to buy more. I don't look at whatever I used to have, because just to save my mental health. As for when you asked about the mining, well, actually, the thing is, I stopped Bitcoin and Ethereum mining from that day. And then when I came back to crypto and I learned about seasonal tokens, I actually went back into mining. I rented a server, I started mining, I made a really nice amount of profit, and I put that money in a farm, and I'm still making more profit thanks to seasonal tokens. And this is what makes me so happy and so, opportunistic actually about seasonal tokens and the project. So this is the last thing I've ever mined since Bitcoin. So I mined Bitcoin and seasonal tokens, and that's it.
And what are your thoughts about mining? Should the person start with crypto investing first, or with mining first, or with farming first? What do you think is the best way for someone to start to get more familiar with crypto industry?
Well, the first things first is, before you go into mining or investing or anything, it's to research and look at other people doing things. So if you go to YouTube, you can see people actively investing in front of you, and you can watch these videos and see what they do, get a sense of what's wrong and what's right. Afterwards, if you're scared to lose any money, well, the first things first, you never put any amount of money that you're afraid to lose. But after that, you should always see if you're more into purchasing or renting a GPU or a mining rig and mining the currency that you want to play with. Because when you do that, once you get a net profit from the mining, whatever money you play with is not even yours. So if you lose it, it's fine. This is what I personally liked when I was mining, because after I subtract the mining rental, any money I lose is not really money that I worked hard to earn. So mining and then investing, in my opinion, is a good approach.
Great. I think that you definitely have a point with that. A lot of big investors are advising people to start with crypto investing and then chase the other opportunities that crypto is offering. But I think that starting with mining can also give you a lot of knowledge about crypto, but it's up to you, because if you are not a very technical person, I would say that mining may scare you a little bit, and you may decide to leave the Web3 world because of that, even though Web3 is definitely not only mining, but it's very important where you are learning from. Which brings me to the other question, what do you think, Mouph, is a good place for people to start learning from?
Well, if it's knowledge that people seek, the number one thing I did was I used to Google any question that I had. I used to try to go with dummy accounts for investing. For example, I used to go and open a dummy account, try and invest with fake money and see what happens. A lot of YouTube tutorials, a lot of people that you meet. So the way people should learn is doing their own research and making sure that whatever the info they're reading is credible, that they're reading from a trusted site, a trusted person, they're audited. Another thing is, when watching a YouTube video, they should watch YouTube videos of people that do not really care about making money off of you being a viewer, because that way they'd have more of an incentive to lie to you to get you to watch more of their videos. And well, the biggest teacher to me out of all of these was losing money, actually. So once you have your own money in the game, you tend to be more afraid, tend to want to learn more, tend to want to make sure that whatever money you have is actually safe and you'll get it back. And once you lose it, a lot of people might actually be afraid and not do it again. Personally, for me, once I lost some money in my life, I consider this as an opportunity to learn every single mistake I've done so I don't repeat it again. And maybe next time, which is the case, thanks God, I don't have the same mistake and I actually make money instead of lose the amount of money that I made.
Very, very wise. Great. I think that this is a very important thing that people should realize, that doing investing with fake money is not the same like doing investing with real money. I have also learned this lesson when I started with stock investing. I first started with fake money and I was able to quickly become a millionaire with fake money. That's the problem. And I thought that it will be as easy as it was in this platform with the fake money. But when you start playing with real money and emotions also join this fun game, you find out that the reality is very different. So you lose money much faster than you gain money. And in most cases, it's because you become very emotional, because you haven't done enough research, or because someone has misled you in some way or another. And when you are playing this game with fake money, like, you just don't care. And in some cases, what I've heard, but I can't prove this, is that it's very different how the platform is acting when you are playing with fake money and when you are playing with real money. So I have some friends that have told me that there are some brokers that make it sound like, actually looks like it's very easy to make money with fake money. So they somehow change the software in a way that you are almost every time a winner. But when the reality comes and when you play with real money, this is not possible for them to do it. And that's why you start losing very fast. I can't prove this, but I have heard from my friends saying that they have seen facts for that, even though in the end, like I said, I wasn't able to figure it out. So I have been able to lose most of my money because I believe too much in myself due to this fake money game. So definitely I agree with Mouph when he said that it's good to do your research, but start investing with your own money. And very important to remember with money that you're ready to lose or you don't need at the moment if you are thinking of doing long-term investment. So you have to be very careful with that. And at the same time, it's very difficult, honestly, to find a very good and trustable sources. We constantly hear of a lot of YouTubers that in the end, their end goal has been to make you buy something and they can sell it after that. So be careful when you do your research. So except of YouTube and Google, do you think that there is another good place for learning and getting more information about the Web3 world, like, for example, Discord or something like that?
Well, yes, I was going to say Discord. So the next best thing to do is after you use Google or YouTube or social media or put your own money even, the next thing you can do is actually find experts, find people in the field and befriend them, make friends in that field. And the best place, in my opinion, is Discord. Once you go in Discord and you go in a community on a server, you get to ask questions, you get to meet people, have voice chats, voice calls, and you find people that are like-minded. You will encounter people who are not necessarily the greatest asset for you, but you will find also very nice people and very intelligible people that you can get information from and actually benefit each other. This is a big thing that happened to me when I joined Discord. This is why I really wanted to make and sell Discord servers. It's because I found out how much Discord helps people, gives a sense of belonging. It helps you find information, make friends. Same as how I'm friends with you, Polar. It's thanks to Discord. And this is something that is, in my opinion, a great attribute and a great asset that people can take advantage of, actually.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Discord has given us a lot of opportunities to make new friends and learn more about the crypto industry, and a lot of people have been really great to share their knowledge for free without looking for any benefit, which I think is really the case in the Web2 world. But yeah, this is a new industry, so there are a lot of people that want to help you, but keep in mind that some of them may not be that good. But at the same time, like Mouphs said, it's a great place to meet new people and learn new things. So based on your experience as a crypto investor, what do you think is good, or actually the best thing for a person to do during a bear market?
The bear market. I like to call it sale season, as I've said. So first of all, I have to say again, this is not financial advice. I will just answer by telling you what I personally do. So during the bear markets, I first of all hold whatever tokens I already bought. So I don't even look at them. So let's say I have 5 Ethereum from when the price was 4K and now the price is 1K. I don't even look at that. I consider that this is money that I cannot touch because I hold them, because eventually the price will go up. This is how it has been shown. The next thing I do is I buy more. I use my dollar cost averaging and I use my investment strategy. And every month I go in and I buy more and I buy more and I buy more. So eventually with time, once the market recovers and we're in a bull market, I look at my entire portfolio and I see that there are lots of gains, unrealized gains actually. And something to keep in mind is if you sell the token that you've been holding in a period, you have actually caused the loss to become a realized loss. Whereas if you keep it in the token value, it is an unrealized loss. So this is something important to keep in mind. I'd rather always have unrealized losses than realize these losses. One more thing I wanted to add is even rich people back in 2020, 2021, they took advantage of the COVID crash. And I still hear to this day a lot of people that tell me if I would have invested in the COVID crash, I would have been a millionaire. And this is another crash that we have right now, and people, in my opinion, should take advantage of that.
You're absolutely right about that. Like, bear market gives us a lot of opportunities, and there is a very wise saying that when people are scared, this is the best time to buy. Or if I'm not wrong, the saying was like, when there is a boot on the streets, this is when you have to buy. So I think that bear markets give us the best opportunity for that. And I have also heard some people saying that bear market is also a good time to start staking your tokens if you have such tokens. What do you think about staking, Mouph?
I love staking because if, for example, I have a X amount of money in a token and I decide to put it in a farm or stake it or provide liquidity with it, and the return I get is 30%. So by staking that and by providing liquidity and gaining the 30% APY, if the market goes down by a total of 30%, you technically still have the same amount of money that you have. It's untouched. This is why staking to me is a great way to decrease your losses. If, for example, the market went down 15%, you come out of a bear market with a 15% profit.
Absolutely. I agree with you that staking is a good leverage that you can use, especially during bear markets. So I'm a big staking believer. I'm also staking part of my portfolio just because I feel that it's a fact that it is close to a deposit, but with much higher API, like in the real world with fiat money, where the deposits actually give you a negative percentage, especially right now with the high inflation rate. So I believe that staking is very, very good, especially for those people that are not very good in trading and don't have much time to do trading. They can just buy whatever they want and stake it if they believe in the project in the long term. Of course, there are a lot of things that we can talk about staking, but it's good if you are interested in staking to do your research and see what type of staking you like the most and works the most for you. So one of the reasons why we are here, Mouph, with you on this conversation is because we're both part of the seasonal tokens team. So I feel the need to ask you a few questions about seasonal tokens. And the first one that I want to start with is like, what has attracted you to become part of the team?
It's a funny story, actually. It all started when Logitech approached my friend Holdemir. So Holdemir is my friend in real life. We're best friends, actually. And him and I were both in a Discord server where Logitech approached Holdemir and told him about seasonal tokens and about the advancements and the project itself, its roadmap, its white paper, and that it's mineable and it's farmable. So once Holdemir knew this information, he then decided to tell me about it when I saw him in real life. After he told me about it, he said that he already went in and he mined the token and he made around $500 in a matter of 4 days. And that was insane to hear about. So this caused me to spark an interest. The first thing I thought about was, how can I make money out of this? So when I joined the server myself, and I met Rowan, the founder of one of the founders of the project, and I met the rest of the team as well, like Tears and even you, Polar, and Logitech, it gave me a sense of belonging. So I found of how it was like a family environment. It was very friendly environment. And hearing all of this and seeing all of that just wanted me to be part of something greater and belong to something greater in hopes of helping it advance more and more. Something that is, of course, worth mentioning for other people that are thinking of not being part of the team, more like being part of seasonal tokens itself, is the cyclical trading that has been mentioned multiple times. We also spoke about staking before, and staking is also found in seasonal tokens because you can farm and you get the 4 seasons, and then you can take these 4 seasons and reinvest them in the farm again, and then you have a loop of constantly staking whatever you've farmed and constantly making money. And it's just great, and it's just a very smart and technologically advanced way that I have not seen yet in any other project in crypto.
I didn't know this story, by the way. It's a very nice one. Just to mention that when Mouph has joined the team, there was actually an opportunity to very easy mine seasonal tokens and make a profit of $500 per 4 days. But right now, due to the fact that seasonal tokens is more popular than then, it's much harder and you need a lot more power to generate such income. But at the same time, seasonal tokens are still a very good investment. I think, of course, do your own research. But Mouph, we're both part of the team and we're somehow subjective. But can you try and be objective and say, what makes you think that seasonal tokens is a good investment?
To be objective here is to speak in facts. So to be factual about this is to mention the technology that the project is based upon, which has been mentioned before a lot, and it is cyclical trading. So cyclical trading is a factor that allows any individual to buy a certain amount of a token, wait until the halvings cross, and then scarcity becomes a factor. And we all know when scarcity is a factor, prices increase. And then they would switch that amount of tokens that they got to another token within the seasonal tokens environment. Thus, the total amount of tokens they have will always be increasing. So this is a fact that anybody can go and test and look at previous price points. And this is something I do every single month, actually. Every single month, I always have an increased number of tokens in total. And this is one of the ways that I can be an objective and say how this is a very great investment opportunity. The next thing is whatever amount of money that you just got, whatever amount of tokens that you monthly cycled through, you can place them in a farm. And we all know in crypto how farms work. They are a way to stake and provide liquidity, and you get tokens in reward. And this way you can also try and help fight the decrease in prices, as we've already mentioned before in the meeting as well. So this is what I personally do again. So I cycle trade every month, and then whatever token that I cycle traded towards, I then place that in a farm, and I harvest at the end of the next month, reconvert everything to a new token if a new token is a better potential to increase my number of tokens, and then place it in a farm again. And this is why I believe that people should invest in seasonal tokens.
Okay, great. Yeah, it's definitely a unique project. I haven't been able to see another project doing that. But of course, like we have mentioned this many times during the episode, I'll have to mention it again. Do your own research and make your own decision if this is the project that you want to jump in. And if you want to jump in, like Ruan said in the first episode, like don't start big, start small. Check out the episode with Ruan. I'm sure that you can learn a lot about seasonal tokens project. So Mouph, you have been with the project for a good amount of time, and I'm sure that you have been able to learn good lessons because of that can be beneficial to our listeners, especially if they are planning to do their own project or if they want to invest in crypto. So can you share more about like what you have been able to learn during you being part of the team?
Well, the first thing I want to say is something that I learned that is on an emotional aspect, actually. I learned that when a person has a very loving and friendly team to work with, a very family-oriented environment, they always thrive better. So this is what personally to me has brought the most attention. That being in such an environment causes you to really think from the bottom of your heart, how can I help this project succeed? How can I help to whatever project I am in succeed? And once people implement this in their own projects, the people that join will have the same orientation in mind. They will also want to see the people that they now care about, that they now think of as potential family members and friends, that they want them to succeed as well. And upon saying this, a lesson that I've learned is about doing your own research, is I've learned thanks to the team. So I would like to mention a few pointers of how somebody could do their own research. So the first thing is to check the project's overall mission. So this is very important. If you check the mission, if you see their roadmap, you would be able to know what their general idea is. Check the price history, see if it's a pump. If it's a pump, do not chase it. Check the team members. And this is where I come to tell you about the loving and the friendly environment that I was talking about, because this is to me how I did my own research. This is to me how I learned a lot of things from seasonal tokens after I saw the team and I saw their experience as well. Check the latest news, if they post things on Medium, if they have articles about them. It's very important to check it. And seasonal tokens, of course, again, does have that. And the tokenomics involved. So what is the technology? Is it something that you've seen a million times before in crypto projects? Or is it something unique, brand new, experimental even, that has a potential to grow very wide and very big? So to me, this is the summary of what I'd like to say.
Okay. Yeah, these are very important lessons, and I have been part of different projects and consulting them and things like that. And it's really the case that actually you can see the family stuff going on in the team. So yeah, it's amazing that sometimes in crypto you can find your second family, and it is actually like working with your family, which is amazing. So I'm happy that you're part of the team and you feel this way. I feel the same way too, so it's great. So we have been talking about seasonal tokens, other crypto projects and things like that, but especially during markets like now, when the future is not very clear, a lot of people are saying that there isn't much left for crypto and it will die soon because of the inflation, because of the governments and things like that. But I want to hear your opinion about that. Like, what makes you think the future of crypto is bright?
Well, going back to the sentence you said that people think that crypto is dead, to that I say there's a website that they can check, and it says how many times the world has said Bitcoin and crypto is dead. And again, the number is now above 500 times. And there's even a chart that shows you what price point that people said that crypto is dead. And it's so funny to see the price and the line. The next thing I would like to mention in a simple word actually is Metcalfe's law. So if you're not familiar with Metcalfe's law, in short, it's the more people get added to any network, the more valuable the network is. So if I have one phone and I'm the only person in the world that has a phone, this phone is almost valueless. Whereas if I have a phone and you have a phone and 10 million other people have a phone, we are now a network. So the value of the phone is dependent on how many people that own it. And this is the case in crypto. As I also said previously, the internet adoption was very slow. And the people, when the internet first came out on TV, they used to say that, hey, the internet's dead. No, this is something that will not be adopted. And look at us today. We are literally using the internet in our day-to-day lives. This podcast is thanks to the internet. So if you look at that and you compare it to the adoption of crypto, you can see that we're following a very similar trend. So to me, this is all just a way to confirm that the future of crypto is bright. I would like to mention one more thing, actually. I just remembered something. It's the market cap, actually. So the total market cap of crypto right now has decreased from 3 trillion almost to 1 trillion. But if you look at that in the greater aspect of things, if you look at how long the housing market waited and took so long to reach its current market cap, and how the internet and how the businesses, the stock market, all of these you can call them ancient markets, and their current market caps that are about below 100 trillion or around that range. They took so long to reach that. And if you compare crypto reaching 1 trillion in a very few amount of years, then this is insane growth. And this leads me to believe that crypto will have a way higher market cap in the future once more and more people adopt them. So if, let's say, the real estate market alone decides to adopt crypto as a mode of payment, then the market cap of real estate will be transferred to crypto. And that is an insane amount of growth.
Yeah, again, you're talking with facts, which I really love. And I absolutely agree with you that the things that you mentioned are just part of the proofs that crypto is going to be with us. And there are so many other things like that, which we can share right now because it will take probably hours. But if people are interested in that, they can easily find them on Google. So yeah, I also believe that the future of crypto is bright, but we believe when we see, and it's better to make your own research and see the facts with your own eyes. No need to trust us or anyone else. Just make your own Google searches or whatever searches you want, and you'll find a lot of proofs what is the direction of the crypto. But there will always be people that will say that this is just temporary and crypto will be dead soon. But like Mouph said, probably this will be just the next time when someone is saying this, and this will be not the last time. But you have your own right to decide if the future is bright or not. So I think it's obvious, Mouph. We are both believers in crypto and we'll be here to help it grow and things like that. And we have been talking a lot about different crypto topics, seasonal tokens, and I think that the time has come for some final words. What are your final words to our listeners?
Well, the first thing I'd like to say is, again, thank you so much for having me. It's been very fun. I enjoyed this conversation a lot. And, well, I just want to say for our listeners that, yes, Polar, you're correct. Always do your own research. Whatever I say or Polar says, you can use that, but research what we said to be safe. Always research what anybody tells you to be safe. And with the current market conditions, just hold on, hodl, take advantage of the sale season and stock up on crypto and tokens. Again, not financial advice, but crypto is new and there is way more yet to come in hopes of a brighter future.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you very much, Mouph, for being a guest on the Seasonal Tokens podcast. I'm sure that our listeners will be able to find a lot of value in it. So I hope that we'll be able to talk another time again.
Yes, I hope so too. Thank you so much. If anybody, again, I forgot to mention this, I'm so sorry. If anybody needs anything, they can contact me on Discord. The handle is Mouph. They can contact me anytime. I'm usually always online, or you can open a ticket. If you need help with seasonal tokens, to talk about crypto, to chat, to have fun, I'm always there. Thank you again.
Amazing, amazing. So thank you very much again, Mouph. It was a big pleasure for me to have you on the podcast. So thank you very much again for all that have been able to reach this part of the episode. I truly appreciate your support and would be really grateful if you can subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform, because there are a lot of great things that we have prepared for you in the future. So thank you very much again for listening to me and to our guest. I'm Power, the CMO of Seasonal Tokens, and I'll talk to you on the next episode of the Seasonal Tokens podcast.